Feels great to be back.
This week, I get to meet up with my van, Chloe, and I'm going to talk to you all about my recirculating shower as I get many questions about it. And after I have set it all up, we are going to hit the road. If you like what you see, please remember to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button, and you will be alerted to whenever a new video comes out. Have a great day, people.
Back to the sun. Back to the road. Back to the adventures. Let's get this going. So the things I'm gonna need is the filter containers, this handy dandy tool. I have 3 of them to do. So these are the canisters that I'm gonna be putting them in. So they're heat pure, the 8-inch ones. And I'm gonna be actually starting with should be a 10 micron filter into the first one, and then the second one, so the filter's a little bit more fine, is actually going to be a 5 micron one, and I'm going to remember to place these in correctly. And then I got a carbon filter, so the carbon filter is the last filter that will be going in, and then I'm going to show you where I plant them underneath the van. So before I put the filters underneath, it's best to actually fill them up with a little bit of water. So we're going to fill up a little. Oh, well, I mean, that one's going to be a pain in the ass. So now that we know which order they're going to go in underneath, because it goes through a particular way, this is going to be the 10 micron. We're going to pretend that's 10.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure it's recording.
Oh, you'll see REC in the screen. It's red. Try not to get all soaking wet. And then these filters screw on when you tighten it with this. Okay. You definitely don't want to over tighten them because I've done that before and it turns into a nightmare. And these take up quite a bit of water, so that's why it's kind of nice to pre-fill them a little. And one more. Oh, God. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna get wet.
Wet t-shirt contest.
Right? Ouch. Oh, God. Oh. all three in, and then we're gonna want to close that off. That stays open. That's my, and then, oh, we have to get the other sediment filter for here. So I'll go and grab that and I'll be right back, but we could probably film that from this side. But this is all just for the tank. So it's only a 10-gallon tank, and that supplies enough water filtering around and around and around. We definitely want to make sure that that valve is turned off. But yeah, let's go get this filter and I will be right back. Before the water comes from the shower, it goes through the pump, but before the pump, to get out any of the bigger sediment rocks or whatever, they have these little ones that go just before the pump, and that gets screwed onto place. Yeah, and you just hand tighten it, and that should be good. So I think I'm all ready to start filling it up, making sure that all the stuff is closed. Fill up the tank. The fillet hose is right here, and this actually has a diverter that goes for all the tanks. So that gets hooked up underneath there, and then we go turn the water on. Before I go and fill up the recirculating shower, I figured I might as well put the one on for the fresh water tank. It's gonna need one of these little filters before the pump, so it goes on right here. So what we're waiting for is the water to come swooshing out, which means that that's full. While we're waiting for the water to overflow, this other nozzle here is just for if you just want to hook directly up for regular pressure. So that way you don't have to use any of the pump system. And that's what we are waiting for. So when that happens, we can switch to the other tank just by turning this lever. And now we'll be filling up the recirculating shower.
So you're all probably wondering how this recirculating shower came about. It is something that I definitely wanted in my van build, so I custom designed it and had it made with a recirculating shower drain and a gray water drain. I did install it myself, and I did red guard the walls for waterproofing, and then added a second coat of Kerdi board before I put on the tile. I also went ahead and did all of my own plumbing to the heat exchangers underneath the van and completed putting it all together and had no problems with the pressure.
That is my shower, which is freaking quite impressive. Which goes to the drain, which goes back into the system.
And once I got the plumbing all in place, I did decide it was time to tile. And I know what you're thinking, tile in a moving van? Well, actually, it's been a year and I have not seen one crack or any kind of water that has penetrated in any way. The thing with tiling is that I used a special grout that was a flexible grout, and to work with it you had to apply it and then remove everything in a foot area, so it did take some time. As for filters, I do change the water every week, and I also backflow the water to clean out the filters slightly. I do a good clean every 3 weeks and change the filters every 3 months.
Well guys, now that I've showed you underneath and a little bit of the build that had gone on when I built the shower, it did take me over a year to specifically find what I was looking for that was going to help me. And yeah, having a recirculating shower is a very big thing in van life. Having a shower in van life is a very big thing. There is a few key things that I will show you. So when the water goes from the shower, it goes down to the 10-gallon tank. And then from the 10-gallon tank, it goes through the pump to an accumulator for pressure, and then it goes to a spin down filter, and that'll spin out most of like the bigger material like sand and stuff like that. Then it goes through the 3 series of filters. And then once it has gone through that, it actually comes back up into the system and then it recirculates. I do have this switch. This is for the ultraviolet light, and it is powered on there. So when I do go to take a shower, because it does draw a lot of energy, after it goes through the filter system and before it comes back up to the shower, it actually goes through a UV filter light underneath the chassis. And then once it has gone through that, it actually comes back up into the system and then it recirculates. So I will just explain the rest of it. When I want to use the shower, basically I come to here and I open it, and this is my heater. It's a German-made heater from Essenbacher, and it is tapped into my diesel fuel tank, and it's a single burner that burns underneath the chassis of the van. And from that, it heats up glycol, which the tank is underneath the front hood, and it circulates the glycol around to heat exchangers. And so to start it, press it when it lights up to red, so 60 minutes. I got it, it doesn't take that long. That's what I got it timed for heating the van. And then once it's glowing red with the ring around it, what I can do is I installed, this is the shower pump and this is the kitchen sink pump, and these little levers open up and recirculate the water so it can warm up. So if I hit this, it starts the shower pump until the pressure of the nozzle shuts it off. And then if I hit this, you can hear the water, and that turns on another ball valve, and now it's recirculating underneath. So it's actually heating up the water continuously. So then I can hit that when I'm driving. I can do a bunch of things if I really want the shower really hot. So I can turn it off, and that repressurizes the tap faucet. And then after I've heated that up, have it going, I come in and then I get my shower ready. So for my shower, put this here, it's for sand, and I pull that out, and that it's basically just a rubber mat, and that goes there. So I built these wood slots, so if somebody was tall they would take them out, but honestly you don't need to. I shower just on top of them, and that way the water just collects underneath, and you can dry a lot of things in here if you want. So the next thing that I do is I pull out all these little goodies. So these 3 things come out. They slide in and underneath the tiles. So when I made the design, I wanted a lip so that I can specifically put these there. And then this is the shower completed, and I do also have a nozzle. So let's turn on the pump, and then we can turn on the shower. That's for if I want to use the handheld, I can use that. And then I turn the lever, and then I got the full shower. So always good to know that you have the shower doors. So basically I got to make sure that those are down. That one closes off of this, and then I also have another one, and then I can have a shower. And then once I'm done, I have a squeegee that I use, and I go over everything and just make sure the water's down.
Depending on what it is that I'm gonna do, some days I just let the water, because I'm gonna hit the road and it just ends up going down to the drain anyway. But if I'm staying still, I like to get most of the water back in, because I do turn back on for approximately about 5 minutes. After I'm done showering, I do turn on the two-way valve and let it recirculate, so that way I'm going through the process. That's it. I have no idea how this video is going to turn out, because it's the only reason that I haven't done a van tour is because it is very difficult to do the explaining of everything while you're holding a little camera in a confined space. So I hope I did my best. Hopefully. How long will it take to get to White Sands National Park?
With light traffic, it will take you 7 hours and 20 minutes to get to the White Sands National Park by car.
Definitely time to get started. Coffee. All set, let's go. Tucson, baby. We are making some progress today in the sun. I am very stoked to be back on the road. Some good tunes. You guys coming along? We're definitely hitting the sun today. I'm in shorts and loving it.
She goes where the wind suggests she goes. Who knows?
Just picking up some little knickknacks from my favorite store. It's a Walmart thing. And we're off to our campsite for the night. No, that's a lot of food for one person, especially one that's not eating very much lately. We are officially in New Mexico. Before I got into the state, I decided to pull over to get fuel at 3.39 in Arizona. We are now back up to 4.5. La-di-da-di-da for diesel. So good call, Tracy. 1-1 for the team. So every other time I end up filling up and finding out it was going to get cheaper. I win. All these little hick towns make me want to sing. There's a whole lot of driving, not a whole lot to see. I need some freaking content, but all I see is a lot of garbage and semis. Where that came from. But anyway, I'm super freaking bored. I promised myself I wouldn't be a distracted driver.
Yeah, I'm going for the ride and find myself I am alive and I soar. Still I run toward the wind and let the challenge draw me in, 'cause I want more. Oh, we are all